that like those people?
Here we are. Okay. We got that going. We got this going. We're both Mikes. I'm Mike Sofka. That is Mike
Taylor. Good morning.
That's right. We're talking about what's hot in Florida here. I had a weekend that was fun and exciting. It's a Scottish Highland festival. You ever been to one of those?
I haven't. I'm just picturing a lot of kilts, a lot of jokes, and probably a lot of beer. Even though beer is a German thing, I'm sure there's a lot of beer there.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird things there. It was fun though. It was a lot of fun. You may remember these guys from Disney days. In Epcot, there was a band called Off Kilter. They hung around the English pub and all that. Well, I guess after like 19, 20 years of doing it, I guess two of those guys are Reedy Creek firefighters. And after doing that for 20 years, for some reason, they're not doing it anymore. So they performed. I went back the second day to see them again because I thought they were fun. I did post some of the videos up on YouTube. I don't have them on the Facebook pages yet, but I will send them. But I'm going to throw up a couple pictures here if I can. So bear with me. I'm technology challenged. But we'll see here. No, I don't want to exit Zoom. That's not what I'm trying to do.
That'd be counterproductive.
I can't minimize Zoom while I'm recording. So, how did I pull up those other things last time? Let's try this real quick. See if I can do it this way.
I just found a pixie stick.
Oh, nice. It's instant cancer. That was like cocaine for kids.
It was.
And drawing the powder already in there. That's crazy.
Yeah, and it's just as awesome now as it was 40 years ago.
Nice.
Rape. Not my thing. All right.
Can you see anything on the screen? Can you see what I'm putting up here?
I just see you, sir.
Let me try this. Let me see if this works. Let me see. You can share multiple. Man, it'd be nice if I had my act together and knew how to do this stuff. Anyway, I'll show.
It's not like it's our second show.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page. What's hot in Florida? What's hot in Outdoor? What's hot in Lake County? If you're hot or want to find out where you're hot, we got that Facebook page. But there was a dude in a knight, right? The helmet. And the big walking stick spear with a skull on it and stuff. And this guy was like 8 feet tall. I don't know how this guy was this tall. He was one of the tallest humans I've ever seen. Didn't have giant platforms.
He didn't have Gene Simmons boots on?
No, and I think some of it was an illusion because he had shoulder pads on too.
Right.
This guy was huge. I got a picture with him. I got a picture with another guy like that. But I didn't see any games. I didn't see... I was expecting him throwing that giant telephone pole or doing stupid stuff or rolling down a hill in kilts. Not that I was excited to see that. Not that there's anything wrong with that either. So, but anyway.
No, there's something wrong with that.
No, it didn't happen. That wasn't there. And I was like, well, it did say $10 to get in and we got in without paying $10. So I don't know, maybe. So it was food, it was vendors, it was a lot of exciting, interesting stuff. You could find out the origins of your last name if you go back to Scotland, Ireland, England. They had all that stuff going on. But
maybe you were just in the parking lot and you never actually made it in. You didn't pay your admission.
Well, this is the funny thing. At the end of the second day, somebody asked the MC or whatever, the guy who was handling changing bands on and off the stage, and he made the announcement, oh yes, if you were looking for the games, they're 2 blocks over at such and such field. And I'm like, really? This doesn't make any... so if I go there, I miss the festival, but if I stay at the festival, I miss that stuff. So I don't know. It was 2 blocks. I guess I could have walked it, but I didn't know. So I felt cheated. Did you ever have haggis? You know what haggis is?
Yeah, I've heard of it, but I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. Yeah. I'm probably one of the pickiest eaters you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I had it sprayed up here, and my intern must have lost it. Here I am looking for it. Oh, here it is. Here's what haggis is. I got there on the first day and I saw haggis and a Scotch egg, and I'm like, well, okay, if they don't have booze in them, But haggis is a savory pudding containing sheep's pluck, minced with onion, oatmeal, suet, spices, salt, mixed with stock, and cooked while traditionally encased in the animal's stomach, though now often an artificial casing instead. So the main ingredients are sheep's heart, liver, and lungs, and the stomach used for the casing. And I wanted to try one of these things, but the line was very, very long to get to. I was like, yeah, I'm not eating sheep insides and standing in line. I would do one or the other.
Right. Yeah. That's disgusting. I'm sorry.
How about a Scotch egg? Soft, hard-boiled egg wrapped in sausage, coated in breadcrumbs, and baked or deep fried. I was ready for that too. So
yeah, that I've seen before.
Yeah, we go back day 2, and I'm like, hey, there's no line at the Scotch egg and Haggis place. Let's go there. They were out. They sold out already.
Wow, missed opportunity there.
Yeah, so go to the Facebook pages, the What's Hot in Florida, What's Hot Mount Dora, What's Hot Lake County, and we'll see those. So tell me, what did you do? Where'd you go this weekend?
Well, just back up a little bit. That band you mentioned, Off Kilter?
Yeah.
Used to play at I'm thinking of the one in Canada. Never mind. Off Kilter was the one in Canada.
Yeah.
And it was the Beatles guys at Epcot at the England. All right. The girl I worked with at a previous employer of mine was actually dating one of the guys in that band who was married.
Nice.
Yeah. And she had a thing for him like you wouldn't believe. And I talked to her. She's like, yeah, just dumb. And I'm sure it ended up very poorly. But they were canceled when Disney went through a bunch of their cuts, probably 8 years ago or so. Their last round, they stopped them altogether, and it was a big uproar about it. Blah blah blah. But my weekend, gosh, we ended up going to the Blue Springs State Park in the Orange City area. I get all those Orange City, Orange this, Orange that confused.
Yeah.
It might have even been something else city, but down towards the Daytona area, halfway between you and me. Probably a little closer than you. Actually, DeLand, Deltona, kind of by that area. And so we pull in, we pull up to the main road, and we see the sign, make a left turn, and there's a lot of cars coming out of this one lane each direction. A lot of cars coming out. I go, that's kind of weird, I didn't expect that. So we go down there and we see the entrance on our left and a guy like directing traffic. And then we see, for as far as we could see down the road, a line of cars lined up to come in. And I'm like, oh, good thing we didn't come from that direction. Well, that direction was the St. John's River. And everybody had to go down, make a U-turn, come back, and get on that line. 45 minutes.
Crazy.
45 minutes, then you give them money to get in. Yeah, and the thing is, it wasn't nearly as bad when we got in there. I was expecting wall-to-wall people, like elbow, butt to butts, and all that non-social distancing, people everywhere. It actually wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
We were able to find a parking space in a parking space. We weren't parking on the grass. There wasn't thousands of people there. It just, it was like a real slow day at Disney. It was just people, but not everywhere.
Yeah.
You could walk and get around and stay away from other people. Of course, it's Manatee season. There's no swimming allowed, so they had this whole area buoyed off. And there was probably, I think the count was 239 manatees in this one little spring area. And it's considered a mega spring or a magnitude, some kind of mega spring. One of the last in Florida. And it's like 17 million gallons of water come out of this spring every day. And enough to fill like, who knows how many Olympic-sized swimming pools. They're whole bragging the lines and really nice. It was clean. It wasn't like, there was like no deferred maintenance. The place was together. They had a little snack shack, which we got a pretzel and a couple drinks to keep the kids happy. Walked with my brand new left knee, walked all over the place, pushing the stroller, carrying the kids. Went all over to the head, this trail head or the spring head, I don't know what they call it, faucet head, and it was kind of cool. I took some pictures. We'll put them up on the Facebook page, and no issues with people. Just this one person that just wouldn't stay away. You kind of get that weird feeling lately when people get too close to you. And what she called me? She called me something. Some kind of idiot. I don't know. I was gonna freaking knock her out, but yeah, that ain't happened nowadays. I didn't even say anything.
Why was she not happy with you?
I don't know. Well, where were we? We were someplace standing, and like she came up like right next to us. She's like right here. I'm like, Brenda, let's get out of here. I go, then I said something like 6 feet or something like that, and I told Brenda, come on, let's get out of this area. And I don't know, a CoVidiot. I was called a CoVidiot, which is a good one. I wonder if is that taken? CoVidiot.com.
I don't know.
You look that up.
Wow.
My face on the front page, the home page, but it was good. And of course, we never get home as early as we want to. Saturday night, I think from there we went, and where did we stop? We stopped someplace for dinner. Don't remember where. It was only a week, right? And got home. Of course, it was dark out, late, and whatnot. But overall, good time. I definitely recommend it if you like nature type stuff. And check out the pictures on Facebook.
Yeah, I used to, up until about, I don't know, mid '90s or so. I didn't have to go to Blue Springs State Park to see manatees. I just see my ex-mother-in-law pull up. Thank you. Thank you. Here all week. That was ex-mother-in-law. That wasn't
ex-mother-in-law. Yes, current mother-in-law.
Ex-mother-in-law.
I'm thinking your current mother-in-law wouldn't take too kindly to that.
No, not at all. Not at all. What kind of time?
Being the Southern Belle that she is.
We are right on the break time here, so I'm going to do the break thing, but I'm just going to do some live reads here, and being my pictures aren't coming up the way I want them to, it's okay. I can still do the live reads. So I want to talk first about winning fantasy football. You play fantasy football. The season may be over, but fantasy football diehards follow teams and players all year. Go join the Facebook group, Winning Fantasy Football. Standard, PPR, DFS, IDP, Superflex, it's all about winning. Fantasy football is a lot more fun when you win. It's all in the name, Winning Fantasy Football. Go join the Facebook group, Winning Fantasy Football. And you need a car, a truck, or a van, have credit challenge like bankruptcy, repossession, or foreclosure, call the Lone Ranger at 407-927-LOAN. Put the Lone Ranger's 20 years of experience to work for you. Call the Lone Ranger, 407-927-LOAN. Get the credit you deserve, only with the Lone Ranger. 407-927-LOAN. Drive away in your new vehicle today. The Lone Ranger is a credit and auto referral agency and not a bank or dealership. All right, I got the important stuff out of the way. That's who's paying the bill tonight. So there.
All right.
There you go. So would you go back to the Blue Springs?
Yeah, actually, we on the way out we noticed they had cabins. You could rent cabins, and then they had like another camping area. So I'm guessing it's like probably like an electrical type thing where you pitch a tent, maybe bring in an RV. I would do it with the boys when they're older. Would it be like my top 10 or top 5 choices? No, there's so many other choices out there as far as camping and whatnot. But I would consider it for a weekend. I wouldn't do it for more than that. But definitely for a day. Gotta at least check it out once.
So can you harpoon one? Can you like bring home a manatee, or do they have manatee steaks at the gift shop or anything?
You get real close. You probably could. You probably could like hop on one and try to wrestle it.
Here's my rationale. The manatee is supposedly called a sea cow, right?
Correct.
Where do we get beef from? It's got to taste good.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's been fed all, green stuff like grass and stuff like that. I mean,
right. Especially from the spring with the clean water.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that. You think it'd be like a veal because, it doesn't move much. They're real small and real slow. So it'd be like,
they
like a big fillet.
Easy to catch.
Exactly. I think
they should have manatee wrestling for the kids. You put the manatee on a giant like tarp, and you keep them wet, and somebody's there with the hose spraying it down, and the kids can sit on them and get their picture with them.
That would make sense. That would be more like it. Yeah. Get a guy out there like at the end of the water slides. They got the people out there taking a picture. You get in the water with it with the camera and stuff. That would work.
Yeah, I'm liking it. Where else can we go with this? Then you could do the same thing with gators, I guess. A little less tolerable, I think.
Well, they do that with gators, but they tape the mouth closed and all that stuff.
Smaller gator, and it's juiced up,
exactly,
and all that.
Yeah.
No, I want the real thing. I want to do a thing like, I want to see somebody like, I guess you get in trouble. I guess it's an endangered species. I guess you go to jail for that. So don't do that. I'm not advocating doing that. If you're watching or hearing this, don't.
Right.
Don't do that. I don't need any more problems. I got enough problems.
Yeah, but yeah.
Did you speaking about what's hot in Florida? Did you see this thing about that? There's a Orlando lawmaker, Carlos Guillermo Smith. That's easy for me to say. He filed a bill this week in the state legislature to legalize recreational marijuana in Florida.
Really? And it wasn't John Morgan?
No, but I'm sure this is all, through him and groundwork and payment to this guy and all this other stuff. You know how that works.
Yeah,
Authorizes HB 343 bill authorizes persons 21 years of age or older to possess and deliver marijuana products in a specified amount. The sales tax exemption for the sale of marijuana and marijuana delivery for those who qualify to purchase. Wow. So you don't have to pay sales tax on it. That's crazy. That's why you want to legalize it, isn't it?
Right. Well, that's the with my daughter, who was living in Colorado for years. Actually was a weed tender.
Nice.
We can get her on the show one day and ask her questions about the laws in Colorado. She's now in Missouri, but she would they can't have a regular bank account because banks are federally secure.
FDIC, yeah, federal.
Yeah, so they can't use a regular bank. They can use a credit union that's a state charter for the the state of Colorado, but they can't deposit money from marijuana into a federal bank account because
and again, I have
federally,
the answer. I have the answer. I can solve all that. Everybody will be happy. What you need to do is remember when you were a kid, or even Disney back in the day, you would go to the roadside carnival and you'd buy tickets. Like you had to exchange your cash for tickets. Or when you were at Chuck E. Cheese, they gave you tickets and then you went and got a prize. Well, here's what you do. We have credit cards, we have apps, you have a thing like PayPal, and you can even issue a plastic credit card if you want. And I buy so much in weed cash or weed bucks. And I get this way, it's all electronic. There's no money. What do these places have in Colorado? Do they have bags of cash in the back? Is it back like Studio 54 days with giant bags of cash? You want to tax it, you want to regulate it. Don't do that. Do something like this. Create a payment system, and then the manager of the payment system, the guy who thought of it, will get 3% of all transactions.
Right. Wait,
How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're good at all these ideas, but you don't go through with them.
Yeah.
Your best idea told me 11 years ago.
Yeah.
Give a shift.
Yes. Who gives a shift?
What does every restaurant now do?
Yeah.
It's all online. Their schedule's online. They give up their shift. They pick up shifts all online.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's me. Back in the day, my mom tells stories to everybody because I was mixing my juices. Like I would take some orange juice, some cranberry juice, and apple juice, and I'd put it all together. And that's how I drank my juice in the morning. You know, we were lucky enough to have all those options, and I mixed them all up. And she goes, "You started that," but
exactly.
My dad, I could get into stories about that stuff too, but I'm not gonna. It's crazy. My dad invented a fitting when he was driving gas trucks in New Jersey, at Seawater, New Jersey. He invented this certain fitting that you could use, so something with the backflow and the air pressure and all this stuff when you're pumping gas in and out of tanks. And he came up with this fitting and he used it, and he showed it to the boss, and they thanked him very much, and they gave him a $20 savings bond. So I don't know if you know what a savings bond is. I don't think they do those anymore, but for $10, I can go buy a $20 savings bond, and in 10 years, it'll be worth $20. So they gave him $10, and you can hold on to this piece of paper for a year. Now, that is an industry-wide tool that is a must-use. It's a safety requirement for this fitting that my dad came up with.
Unreal.
Like father, like son. No, it's true.
Yeah, the thing. Okay, my latest thought invention, and I'll say it here because it's something I thought of, but I've actually done the patent search, and 3 years ago, somebody patented it.
Okay.
All right, you're driving down the highway.
Mm-hmm.
Someone in front of you puts their brakes on.
Mm-hmm.
Are they touching their brakes or are they slamming on their brakes? If they're slamming on their brakes, you can't tell. Because, and they'll stop and you might hit them. Well, if you had a second brake light, say purple, and when someone hits their brakes really hard, this purple brake light comes on, you know they're really slamming on their brakes. And if you're looking up the highway and there's a lot of purples, you know to slow down.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think we're going to some sort of different system here with these electric cars that they're pushing out. I think that's going to be something different, but that's a topic for another day, another show. I think I don't want to get myself in too much trouble there with the car people and the oil people. They're all watching and listening at all times, so got to be careful. Hey, I'm going to take one more little break here, and then we're going to switch up a little bit when we come back. And again, I'm going to do these live reads, so I hope you get bored with them. I hope you get tired of hearing them, because these are important things here. Need a car, truck, or van to have credit challenge? Look, you know what? I don't even have to read this. Just call the Lone Ranger, 407-927-LOAN. Call the Lone Ranger if you have any credit issues, credit problems. It's like it never happened. Now is the perfect time for that. Tax season is wonderful. There's great incentives. Now, the Lone Ranger is not a bank, not a dealership. They're a credit and auto referral agency, but at the same time, they know what they're doing. Put them up 20 years of experience to work for you. You have bumps in the credit, call the Lone Ranger, 407-927-LOAN. And then when you're playing around on your phone, after you call the Lone Ranger and you're on Facebook and you're looking around, go join the Facebook group, Winning Fantasy Football. Why am I telling you to do that now? Football season's almost over. No, this is when you begin for next season. Just follow along at Winning Fantasy Football. No matter the format, no matter the type, no matter the size of the league, go to the Facebook group, Winning Fantasy Football, and join today. You'll be happy you did.
We will not be shut down. Just try and stop us now. Round them up, lock the door, extract and colonize the drawer. Like monster and flame, in they pour. Tonight's gonna
I've been on an alien ship. Have you ever been picked up by aliens? Have you ever been on a UFO?
Yeah. Oh, the UFO? No. An alien ship. It's actually a Silverado pickup truck, South Texas.
Hold on a second. Nice. An alien ship. Nice. They were bringing in cargo.
And we were, yeah.
Cargo.
Right outside Dallas.
No, I'm talking about, like, don't you watch any of these shows on aliens, guys, like that? No, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. They take stuff like the pyramids and they're like,
Time to see what you're made of. Gonna take you to the limit. Smoke a big you gotta. Gear up and let's hit it. Time to see what you're made of. Gonna take you to the limit. Smoke a big you gotta. Gear up and let's hit it.
stuff on it, like modern day shit. Saints or the angels or whatever, and they had like the halo thing over their head, right?
Right.
What if that wasn't a halo? What if it was a helmet? I'm just saying. Think about it. Think about it. Maybe it's spacemen bending time and going back through, like from the future, and they're bending time and going back in the past.
All right. If there was time travel, we would know about it. Because somebody would have traveled. If time travel is invented 1 million years from now, somebody would come back and would be here that was from there.
He is here.
We would know.
He is here. He's already here. He's Elon Musk. He's Jeff Bezos. He's Mark Zuckerberg. Bezos from Amazon, Zuckerberg from Facebook. I'm trying to think of these guys that look like aliens when you look at them. Have you ever seen their face? You ever seen pictures of these cats?
Yeah.
Look at a picture of Bezos or Zuckerberg. They look like aliens. We're gonna get kicked off Facebook. This is gonna be it's gonna be wonderful.
So lottery tonight.
700 million? 1 billion?
1 billion. Did you run down to the old Wawa and get your
No, I need to do that. I need to do that right after we get done here. I need to go do that because I won't play it when it's 700 million. That's not enough money for me. I got to have 1 billion.
Oh, even 20 million where it starts?
I might be able to quit my part-time job if I won $20 million.
20, yeah. I can't believe it. $1 billion. Well, the other one, the other night, someone in Maryland won, one person, 700 some million, 300 and something million after if they take the cash option.
Yeah, it was over 500 million on the cash option. I'm taking the cash option. I want all my money up front. I don't want you to manage my money for me. No.
I don't know. Would you be able to manage your money better and end up with more in the end?
Yes, without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Because 30 years from now,
I could be dead, first off. I could be dead. Right. Well, and then my kids don't get that money.
I think in some states it goes to an estate and it goes forward.
Yeah, but it gets taxed and taxed and taxed and taxed. Yeah, no, I'm out on that. Here's what I want to do. I want to get $1 billion. It's going to be 700 million. I'll do the math later. 700 million after taxes. I want to give like 500 million to my accountant, like and take 200 million and play around with it in the stock market. The accountant can invest in the stock market, futures, gold, anything that he wants. Then I'm gonna play around with some of the money. I'm gonna buy a fat house for my mom and dad. I'm gonna buy a nice place for me. I'm gonna buy a few sports cars. Actually, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hand the lovely Lisa a bunch of money, and I'm gonna let her know, because I'm very difficult, that she could leave now if she wanted to. She has money now. No, I wouldn't do that. I'm not telling her to leave. I want to be clear. That's not what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would tell no one.
Yeah.
I don't know if I could, but I would tell no one, and no one would know. And yeah, they would have their suspicions,
Right.
but I would tell no one. I would say nothing to no one about anything.
Well, don't you? Isn't it in your best interest to establish a trust, and then you put it in the trust name? That's the way I understood it. I'm not a lawyer, but this is a great opportunity for a lawyer. So if you're a lawyer and you can hear this or see this, go ahead and send us a note.
Sponsor.
What's that?
Become a sponsor.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Absolutely. Look, we need a lawyer. Boom, you step in. I give you a plug. It's very cost effective. So if you're a lawyer, I don't care where you're from. I don't care any stuff. Just as long as you're registered with the bar in your respective state. Hopefully you're local in Florida, but if not, no big deal. We can still work something out. So go ahead and hit us up at the Facebook page. Give us a call. You'll find us. You'll find us. I don't think I did a search. I didn't find anybody named Both Mikes. Did you?
I didn't look. I didn't have a chance.
Yeah.
I came off the 9 to 5, had dinner, and into the office here.
Or both. There you go. Both Mikes. There you go.
Both Mikes. Both of us.
Okay.
Funny lottery story.
Yeah.
All right, picture this.
Yeah.
You don't talk to your sister anymore, right? There's been a family squabble for years over stuff in the past, and you just don't talk to your sister anymore. And your sister's husband goes into a convenience store and buys one Powerball ticket. And he buys this one. And this is somebody we know. You and I both know. And they win $191 million.
Wow.
And you don't talk to your sister.
Wow.
And she doesn't talk to you.
Wow.
And 17 years later, you still don't talk to your sister.
Wow.
And still don't talk to you.
Wow.
And you have a special needs child.
Wow.
Yeah, and your sister doesn't talk to you.
I could think of 100 million good reasons to try to reconnect there. I mean, that's selfish though, and that sounds real bad on my part. But seriously, I mean, even I've had those situations with my brothers and sisters, you know, as adults, where we had disagreements about something, and you know, it took a while sometimes, but you know, we forgave each other. You know, we still have large family gatherings. We're still going to see each other. It's still going to be my kin. I can't totally write them off, even though at times I thought I could. You know, you can't do that.
Right. Yeah.
It's not good for the family. You know, it's not good for visual for the old elders in the family and all that as well. You know, they want to get everybody together.
Yep. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's just bizarre how that is. I couldn't picture it being that way with my sister. My sister and I, you know, as children and as adults, sometimes just feel like, oh, that's all we have is each other. You know, my dad's gone, my mom's in freaking La La Land, and you know, especially as kids, you know, my dad was just drank a lot, my mom worked a lot, and it was just her and I. So I couldn't fathom not being, you know, on excellent terms with my sister. But do the math, right? You got $191 million. Say after taxes and everything, you get half. You know, you take $10 million and you play with it. You do whatever you want. You get everything you possibly could ever want with $10 million. So you take $100 million, you put it in the bank, and or you put it in an annuity, something that gives you 3%. 3% will get you about $56,000 a month on that 3%.
I might be able to live on that.
Yeah, might.
I don't know. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's more money than you can ever imagine. It's just a billion, a thousand millions.
I got more more on the lottery here, because I don't know if you know what the lottery really is. Do you know what the lottery really is? It's
What it really is, or what it?
What it is. It's a tax on people who can't do math.
Well, yeah. They call it a poor person's tax.
Yeah, it's crazy, but that's what it really is. And
yeah.
But there's people out there. I saw a guy. You ever see that guy with the systems? Like he's got knows like they used to call it wheeling your numbers back in the day, and you used to be able to use this computer program back in the day when everything was DOS. It wasn't Windows, and you'd load this program, and you'd be able to log into the state, and it would pull the lottery numbers, and you could see which ones were due to hit and which ones always hit. You could plug in like 10 different numbers, and it would give you all the possible sets, or wheel the numbers that you had. So you could wheel 10 numbers, so you had every possible combination of those 10 numbers. But there's people out there that have won multiple lotteries using systems like that. So,
well, the thing is, it's not probable when you use a system like that, but if it's just ping pong balls, and as long as it's the same ping pong balls that are weighted differently, or lopsided a certain way, certain numbers are going to come up more than others. That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
No.
Is 17 going to come up every time? But 17 might come up every 10th time, and a combination of different numbers might come up in some variance once a year. So that's possible. I don't think they have special ping pong balls.
Well, let me ask you this: if you knew what the numbers were, like let's say we were talking about time travel before, if you knew what the numbers were, like let's say, if you knew about time travel, can you go to like tomorrow and then travel back and go buy that ticket? How do you feel about that? Would you do that? How would you feel if you found out somebody did that? Is that
I would never do that. Well, that's like the thing with the was it Back to the Future 2 or 3 when he gets the sports almanac?
Yeah.
As a kid, I always thought that, like, you have 3 wishes. What do you want? Like, I want yesterday's sports page or tomorrow's sports page.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would be a wonderful thing to do, to be able to place your bet in full confidence, kind of like the election. No, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there with all that political stuff here. But, geez, I would like to win $1 billion. I think there's only like a finite number of combinations. I think it's like 2.7 million or whatever, or how many hundreds of million.
Well, I would think
there are to win one.
Well, the odds are 302 million to 1.
Well, there you go. That would tell me that I need to buy 302 million different tickets, and not make a mistake. So why doesn't a Warren Buffett or somebody go, look, to the lottery commission, let's just make this easy. I'm going to give you 300 million. You're going to give me $1 billion. I'm going to make 700 million. Works for everybody.
$2 a ticket. So it's 604 million.
Okay.
To win $1 billion.
Okay.
Yeah, and then you would have to take the 30-year option to get, the full $1 billion.
I think I could eat on that. I think I could afford to see a few concerts and go places and I could have my own private concerts. I wouldn't have to wear a mask. I could just be in my own place and employ bands to come into my living room.
Well, you watch it from the stacks on the side of the stage, from the soundboard.
Yeah. And they'd be playing to nobody.
When the lottery got this high, I guess a couple of years back, they were talking about that. Why not just print every ticket combination? There's not enough time. You wouldn't have enough time between, I guess, Wednesday and Saturday, or Tuesday and Friday.
No, but I could buy a ticket for 2 Saturdays from now. I can buy futures. You can buy futures. Right.
But what if someone wins between now and then?
Oh,
you're buying futures. Less. Yeah, you're buying futures on 20 million, not
I'm losing
1
money.
million. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't want just 20 million. That's not enough money.
Exactly. Yeah, that's not enough. I'm not playing. I'm not putting down $2.
It's crazy. That's crazy. I'm going to do this one more break here.
All right.
We're going to come back and we'll finish things up here. We're on both mics. I'm Mike Sofke. He's Mike
Taylor.
That's right.
Heck
Hey,
'em.
let me ask you a question. You play fantasy football? Winning Fantasy Football is the Facebook group to see. The season may be over, but fantasy football diehards follow teams and players all year long. Go join the Facebook group, Winning Fantasy Football. Standard, PPR, DFS, IDP, Superflex. It's all about winning. Fantasy football is a lot more fun when you win. It's all in the name, Winning Fantasy Football. Go join the Facebook group right now. And you know what? You need a car, truck, or van and have a credit challenge like bankruptcy, repossession, or foreclosure. Call the Lone Ranger. That's LOAN, Lone Ranger, at 407-927-LOAN. That's LOAN. Put the Lone Ranger's 20 years of experience to work for you. Get the credit you deserve. Drive away in your new vehicle today. Call the Lone Ranger at 407-927-LOAN. That's LOAN. The Lone Ranger is a credit and auto referral agency and not a bank or dealership. And that put us right on time. Good. And we're
Look
back.
at you.
I don't have mute. I got to get my act together here. I'm glad we're doing this so I could learn how to do this sometime.
And maybe one day I'll learn.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It's easy, but it's just cumbersome, and I can do it. But hey, look at me complaining. Look at you. Nice.
I know, but I got the plastic hair. Look.
Nice. What I could do is we could do another one where we could do both is on your side and Mike's is on my side. I like that.
Right. And like when we show up on the feeds, are we side by side? Are we? Yeah. I've seen.
I don't know.
I've seen your Wednesday gig. You're side by side. Actually, no. He's big, and then you're like a little guy in the corner.
He's got my logo, but
you're like over here.
Yeah, that's the Hall of Fame fantasy football thing I got going on Wednesdays on mixlr.com on Wake Up Call DT. Thanks for the plug. No, we've been doing that show for about 10 years. It's on terrestrial radio up north, and it's on the internet, and it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's all over the place. So that's kind of where the direction I'm trying to head with this project here. But that's been a lot of fun. But yeah, he had trouble with the compatibility and switching and Facebook and all this stuff with having the two of us up there all the time. So it was easier production wise. But then again, this was all pre-COVID. This is all pre-Zoom's explosion. Zoom peaked at the right time. There was a need for this. So, but unfortunately, I don't know it well enough. Your head's growing.
Right? Like, you
look like a blockhead. Yeah, no. So yeah, you got to get better backlighting. That's where it's at.
So I'll come over here by the bolts.
Nice.
There we go. I think the camera on this particular laptop is strange because I'm like not centered.
Yeah. Well, I got an external camera too. I was using the one on the laptop, and it's good and all, and it's a real good camera, they said. But the external one that we got was, again, an upgrade and needed for other reasons there. But hopefully you're listening to us on mixlr.com, or you're on our Facebook page, both mics. And also you can check out our other Facebook pages, What's Hot in Florida. You can see and learn all about the stuff. We're going to try stuff for you. Before we talked about haggis and Scotch egg. And
Manatees.
And
CoVidiots.
Yeah. I got something else along that. We were talking about time warp and going back to the future and everything. Upward shooting blue jet lightning spotted from International Space Station. This is according to livescience.com. A blue light. Now, I saw a picture of this, and they're claiming in small letters it's an artist rendering, which is why I'm not showing it here, because I can't show it to you. I would show it to you because I would hope that it would go viral. But anyway, it looks like a giant. I'll show you the black and white picture here. You see the giant blue mark there? I'll put it in front of me. See that little mark? This is in black and white. That's the globe. That's the little things from the space station. And there's the blue jet mark. It looks like a flame.
Wait. Is that the Earth?
That's the Earth.
It appears to be round.
Yes. It's we solved it. We solved that question.
This is blasphemy. What are you talking about? What is that?
Yes. Now, these things, they have a name for them here. I think they call them elves, and I'm looking for the acronym here. Here it is. Elves. 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 They call them elves because that acronym stands for emissions of light in very low frequency perturbations due to electromagnetic pulse sources. Say that real fast.
Right? Is that something like the what they call the Northern Lights?
I don't know. It says they're light emissions that appear as rapidly expanding rings in the ionosphere, a layer of charged particles that extends from roughly 35 miles to 620 miles above the planet's surface. Elves occur when radio waves push electrons through the ionosphere, causing them to accelerate and collide with other charged particles, releasing energy as light. Wow, that sounds like it could be onto something. Maybe if they can figure out a way to harness that energy. Why aren't we doing this?
It's like low-level emissions. Maybe, I don't know. It sounds like the Northern Lights to me, but not up north.
I'm going to put a picture of this thing on our
Facebook
page here, and you can look at it in color. There's even a video of it, but then in small writing, it's like artist rendering, and I'm like, man, you had me. I was sold. I was like, oh, that's a real picture, but no, it was an artist rendering. So
yeah. What website you get that from?
It's called livescience.com. Livescience.
.gov?
I don't know.
Oh, I think you said .gov. Like,
no,
okay,
no, .com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that could
Live
be
Science. It's blue jets of lightning. It was something else.
Yeah, we did an Alaskan cruise 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and we were up there in September, so it wasn't like really cold. It was the end of the season for cruising to Alaska. It's when it gets less expensive. It's all about the deal. And like the third night, they were saying that we have a good chance of seeing the Northern Lights. Come on out, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, blah blah blah. So we set our alarm, right? And we got the older one, who at that time was 9 months old. So we wake up at like 1:30 in the morning, and we drag ourselves around and get to the bathroom, put some clothes on, get him dressed, put coats and jackets on, and go 40 feet up above us to the top deck. And all you could see, like looking northeast, was like you could see, it looked like sunrise coming, but it was green, and it wasn't doing that wavy thing that's really cool. It was green, and we were like, okay, and we'll wait. Maybe something cool will happen. We'll wait, and then it stays green, and it kind of faded, and it came back, but it was just green.
You could have taken a picture during daylight hours and gone back and edited it to a green sky. I mean,
yeah. And I actually have pictures of it. I could post some pictures on the Facebook page of the Northern Lights that we spent thousands of dollars to go see.
Wasn't worth the 1:30 wake up call.
No. The art auction was actually more fun than getting up at 1:30 in the morning.
What'd you buy?
I don't know if we bought anything on that one. No, on that one we haven't. We have before gotten a couple things. With the wife being a retired Navy Reserve, she likes certain types of art. So patriotic type art.
Yeah.
I don't know if we bought anything on that particular cruise. Yeah, another topic for another show.
Yeah. So did you go back to the room and sleep right away, or were you up and so you hit a midnight buffet, or what happened there?
Yeah, no, that late there's no midnight buffet, and I have zero issue going back to sleep. So I think I went back to sleep no problem.
Not me. Yeah, if I'm up, I'm up. But I could sleep forever. I could stay awake forever. There's no in between.
Yeah, not me. I fizzle out, and then I just I go to sleep, and yeah.
You're getting old.
Well, yeah.
Look at you. You got gray hair.
I have white hair. Yeah.
White hair.
Yeah. But yeah, I fall asleep no issue. Even with I have the ringing in my ears, which is screaming at times. I have no problem falling asleep. Staying asleep, it's another thing. You know?
They have these cool things. I just picked one up because I'm doing something experimental and I'm still working on this, but I'll announce it. I'll bleed my heart out on the air here. What I've done is, and I don't know if you've heard of this, but you can listen to like meditation music, and it can be accompanied with hypnotic phrases, and then you wear earphones while you're sleeping. But then I heard that it's bad to wear those earpods while you're sleeping, so it's a headband thing, and it looks like a giant headband. The next show, I promise I'll have my act together. I'll have it here and I'll put it on, and you can see I look like what was the lead singer of Poison with the headband thing?
Bret Michaels.
Yeah. Bret Michaels. I look like Bret Michaels or Vince Neil or some big bandana looking thing. But it's in a head. It's in cloth, and there's a little speaker, and it fits right by each ear, and it doubles as like if you can't sleep during the day, you slide it down a little bit. It doubles as a mask, so it covers your eyelids as well if you want it that way. So I've been trying it, and so far I like the product, and I'm still worrying about that hypnosis thing, like, because it goes on for like 8 hours, and then it says wake up or whatever, and then you wake up, and I don't know. In hour 4, is the guy telling me to go stick up a bank? I don't know.
Right? Exactly.
I didn't pre-listen to the whole 8 hours. I just, okay, I trust you. Sounds good the first 10 seconds. Let's try this one tonight. Yeah, if you ever listened to some of those things, it's crazy.
That's bizarre. I never even thought of that. What are they saying to you while you're sleeping?
Yeah.
But, we have these 2 cats. We got Bengal cats. They're like really big and loud. And when we first got them, they would meow early in the morning before we wanted to get up, because it was time for them to get up, and it was time for them to eat, and it was time for them to do their thing. And they would meow. So I would get, earphones and put them in and sleep my last hour or so with these earphones in. That was the thought behind it. But I have the tinnitus, and I have it so bad that when I plug my ears, it rings louder. And that's all that's in my head.
Concerts?
Concerts, TMJ, in your jaw and stuff, because your jaw joint is like right next to your ear. Yeah. They say it's like right against it.
Yeah.
So between the jaw, I've had locked jaw when I was a kid a couple times, and the loud music. Yeah. So welcome to the 80s. And so it's bad. So I can't, my thought of putting earplugs in and trying to sleep just made it worse. So I couldn't do it.
Let me ask you, if you could go back to the 80s, knowing what you know now about the ringing in your ears, would you still have gone to concerts and stood up front in front of speakers and all that stuff? Was it worth it?
There was a couple concerts that were just the placement where I was in reference to speakers, which is a real bad choice. It was uncomfortable to stand and watch the show from where I was standing.
If you could feel it in your chest and your t-shirt is moving, yeah, you're pretty much too close.
Yeah, I've been there. And
I've been to a few shows where I'm standing there, I'm going, this isn't good for me, but this is what I got. I'm going to stick it out.
Right, exactly.
Here's my spot.
Yeah, just hope he doesn't hit the bass drum. Yeah, like Motley Crue, Madison Square Garden, 1985, real loud.
Nice,
real loud. But some of the smaller clubs are the ones that were not good. Definitely not good. Yeah. And if I was to go back to 1985 and meet my prior self, I would just tell myself, Yahoo, Amazon,
Tesla,
Microsoft, yeah, and just fade away.
Yeah, well, if I could go back to 85, I would know that the 86 Mets would win the World Series, so I'd bet every dime I could find on that. And
right. Yeah, moved from New York down to Orlando, September of 1999. And who plays the World Series that year? The Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah. Crazy.
Yep, waited my whole life to see the Yankees and the Mets play in a World Series. As soon as I move away, bingo. So, if it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all.
Yeah, well, I think sometimes people we put too much into sports, and you know what? It took a pandemic for me to see that. No, really, it did. I mean, I got interest in sports outside of this program here. Obviously, I got a lot going on involving sports. I play fantasy football a lot. I play a lot of fantasy sports, but it really took a pandemic for me to see, because I got to see the human version of these players, because the way some of them were speaking out, the way some of them were acting or reacting, some of them choosing not to play, leaving money in peril on their contract. If they don't play, they don't get paid. I mean, imagine that, being able to go, yeah, I'm going to take a year or two off. Not everybody's in that position. So it took me a lot to learn, because after a while, it almost seems like you're not watching human beings. You're watching these people are from other planets. These people are robots. These people are something. They're not human. And we got so far away from that human interaction over the years with technology that I forgot the human side of these people. I just assumed this guy's impervious to any disease. He's a football player wearing all that stuff. He's fine. We take the human element out of those things when we just watch them on TV, watch them on a podcast, listen to them on a podcast, I should say, watch them on a video on the internet. So crazy, huh? Took a pandemic for me to realize that those people are human beings again.
Yeah. Yeah, when I worked a part-time job over at the arena there in Orlando, I was manager of the mid-level VIP suites, and would see all the players back in 2009, 2010, Jameer Nelson, JJ Redick, Dwight Howard, Vince Carter, and all their families. You see them out in the court, 48 times a year for the home games. But you go backstage, and all of a sudden there's Vince Carter and his mom. It puts a different aspect to it.
You never thought of Vince Carter outside of what he does. You thought of you never think, oh, he's got a mom. Right?
But you see him on a wooden court in a certain particular uniform.
Yeah.
I remember seeing JJ Redick with my ex-wife over on Orange Avenue there somewhere. There's a Einstein Bagels. Him and his wife came through, and I was like, I know you. He's like, I know you. And it was weird, seeing him in blue jeans and a polo.
Right.
But,
or like one of my coworkers said to me one time many years ago, I'm not used to seeing you with your clothes on. They meant without your uniform on, and that didn't come out well in front of my wife. So yes.
Right. Interesting. So as we finish up here, real quick, do you remember the day we met?
I'm sure it was something at the RFC. I don't know.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about that last week. I'm like, I don't remember the specific time we met. Did I start there before you, or were you there before me? It's just like you appeared one day.
Yeah, I was mystical. I was. I don't know. That's a whole topic for a whole nother show. We got about 58 seconds left here. So, you gonna do anything this weekend? You going anywhere? You doing anything?
I think it's perfect weather to get out in the backyard. Behind us, we have a wooded area before you get to this pond. They call it preserve area. I want to get back there, probably about 10, 20 feet, and clear the woods, so that there's a little bit of a buffer between the swamp area and my backyard area.
Wow.
That's the plan. And get rid of some leaves.
Wow.
Yeah. Get two maple trees.
Have fun with all that. I meant, are you going to do anything fun? I mean.
Oh, that's fun. Oh, the fun part? Cleaning the garage.
Oh, yeah. No, not for me.
2 weeks ago, I cleaned up some of it with the Christmas stuff, but I got to finish it. So that's the fun part.
All right. Well, we're going to get the heck out of here. We can't go home, but we got to get the heck out of here. Check us out on mixlr.com, the Facebook group, both mics, and check out our sister site here, What's Hot. No matter what city you're in, there's a What's Hot. It's What's Hot in Florida on Facebook. We're going to be on YouTube here shortly. Podcasts will be everywhere. So as we grow this thing, hopefully you'll grow
Look for
along
it.
with us.
Yep.
Here.
Tell your friends.
All right. We'll see you next time.